obviously he is kind of deranged and there's a lot of kind of like sick qualities to him, but I needed to give it some truth.
There's just great minimalist suspense in Jaws, like the power of a fin. It's like you see the fin above water, it's kind of foreshadowing terror.
It wasn't the funnest part, but it adds to it, like
he still has scars on his back from it.
I do.
Yeah, you and me, we fend for ourselves. We're sharks.
I'm nothing like you.
So other than Jaws and obviously now Dangerous Animals, what's your favorite shark movie?
I don't know, dude. I mean, Jaws is it, really. Like, it's hard to go past. Can I just live there? It's really hard to rank them, you know what I mean? It's an interesting genre. People are like equally attracted to that stuff and also like terrified. I mean, a lot of people that I know have already like stated that they're not going to be able to see this because it's a hard line in the sand for them.
Oof.
Ooh, God, that's...
Deep Blue Sea?
Deep Blue Sea,
That's
yeah.
a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a tricky one because I've just watched Jaws so many times. My preparation was really Jaws and Discovery Channel and Shark Week. So for me, it's like Jaws and everything else has got like, a blanket over it. And there's probably, like I really enjoyed the Shallows and 47 meters down. But for me, it's Jaws or bust, really.
How are you with sharks in real life?
Well, my exposure to them has been somewhat limited. I don't want to get closer than I need to, but I've always been fascinated by sharks and any kind of apex predator. I think there's some like real like majesty and like mystique to something so kind of powerful and scary and there's obviously like it makes them kind of untouchable. And I think it's fascinating when you can't kind of reach out and truly understand something because of the sheer danger of getting in their space.
So you think you'd be one of these people that are doing a shark excursion?
Well, it's funny you say that because I actually have plans to this week. So I'll let you know how that goes.
Well, I got to ask you about Tucker because he is such an evil bastard. He's what great movies are made of. What was your favorite part of like putting all the layers together of what would make up this character?
Welcome aboard.
I think with a role like this, you have to, there's a responsibility to give it more dimension than perhaps is just on the page. There wasn't like a lot of prescriptive language around how to play this guy, more just kind of setting the table. And obviously Nick, our writer, wrote such a cool character, but the responsibility on me is to inject that with as much kind of humanity as I can. And, I just saw clues in there to try and access his vulnerability and his kind of childhood wounds, and make it less about this kind of, obviously he is kind of deranged and there's a lot of kind of like sick qualities to him, but I needed to give it some truth, and that kind of always comes from a place of tenderness and having some empathy for him, really. So hopefully there's enough access to that audiences feel somewhat challenged. I don't expect folks to be totally on board with Tucker's plight. He is kind of scary as well, but hopefully there's enough kind of dimension in that it's somewhat challenged for people.
I appreciated how much Tucker is the villain here, not the sharks. So why do you think it was important to treat the sharks in this way?
Well, I mean, I think the shark film was just long overdue for a change in perspective. And, we just talked about Jaws, and as incredible as it is, it did a great disservice to the shark because since then, every shark film is just about sharks indiscriminately hunting humans, which isn't actually the case. And it's even now in nature documentaries where the shark, you have to see a great white breaching to kind of, to sell. And so, we really wanted to we really wanted to show that sharks actually aren't like that, and it's got a shark conservation element. And in Dangerous Animals, the sharks are actually, the serial killer's weapon, but they only turn up if he chums the water. And all of this stuff, all of this stuff is true. It's what's happening now in the shark cage diving industry, where it's very competitive, and you want to guarantee that sharks turn up and the customers see them. So you chum the waters, and now sharks associate boats with food. So even though it's kind of a wild, unhinged ride, there's actually a lot of, there's a lot of facts about sharks in there. So yeah, it's the first shark film where the sharks aren't the baddie.
Well, and I've gotten so sick of sentient sharks that act like horror movie villains. So thank you for presenting them like this. And what was your philosophy in terms of how much of the sharks to show?
Well, again, Jaws was the guiding light. It's like, there's just great minimalist suspense in Jaws, like the power of a fin. It's like you see the fin above water, it's kind of foreshadowing terror, and then it knifes underneath the water, and you're going, when's it going to happen? And it engages the audience's imagination. So that's what, first and foremost, that's what we tried to kind of follow. But then also, like you mentioned, we've seen sharks before where their faces are almost animated in a human way. So I really wanted to show sharks as they are. Like, so every shark that you see underwater is from 4K footage, are all real sharks, and they carry scars. So we see the imperfections of the species the same way that, humans like we carry scars, and our imperfections define us. And so I just wanted to do something that felt like we were humanizing the sharks in a way, and treating them in almost like a nature documentary way, rather than, they had almost become like video games or something.
Well, I have to ask about the harnesses that you wear while extended over the water. Josh, how brutal were those to film in?
Oh, it's wasn't the funnest part, but it adds to it, like
He still has scars on his back from it.
I do.
Yeah. He was the guinea pig with the harnesses. So God bless him. He like took one for the team on that.
Yeah, I went first, and then after the second day, they were like, we need to add some padding to this. And so, yeah, it was nice.
Thank you for that.
That's all right.
Thank you.
So obviously, at one point in the film, you have to do a lot of underwater swimming. How difficult was that? Because I know it can cause a bit of issue, the communication with the crew, all of that can be quite challenging.
I did a lot of breath work training for that. And that was a cool skill to have. I learned a lot just about, breathing, basically. And yeah, there would be like water holds for a long time. And that was, if I'm being honest, one of the more challenging things is being able to act that deep underwater, and, and communication, as you noted, is also a bit of an issue. Yeah. You got to come up for notes and a lot of equalizing. Yeah.
I'm nothing like you.
And you and me, we fend for ourselves. We're sharks.
I'm nothing like you.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. JoBlo was created by movie fans for movie fans, and we appreciate your support.